Right, part 4 of the project, assembling the wheels and the axles. Let's go. So here we are, rear wheels thicker, front wheels thinner, so they're in 2 pairs. We've got the bearings, we've got the axle clips, and we've got 2 axles. So we're going to need the pencil sharpener for this part. We've got to make sure that these little axle clips will fit neatly and tightly onto the end of the axles. So in order to do that, we need to shave off a tiny bit. Now we do not want a point made on the end of this axle. We don't want a point on it. We simply want a small amount shaved off. Look at that. An absolutely tiny amount shaved off. You can only just see, you may just be able to see the tiny bit that's been removed. Let's just see if the clip fits. If it's a tight fit, that's a good thing. So there it is, look, clips fit on. Next one. So if you overdo this, you're effectively shortening the axle, and you mustn't do that. Next clip, yeah, there we go. So there's our first axle prepared. Second axle, exactly the same thing. A few quick twists. There we are. Get that out of the way. Second one finished. Yeah, there we go. Last one already done. There it goes. Now taking them off, you know, you might have to put them on, take them off, put them on, take them off to adjust things. Well, the best way to take them off is this. Look, if you just pull, you know, it's hard work. So if you can possibly get your fingers in like that and push, that's the easy way to take it off. Push like that. I tend to leave one on, and you'll see why shortly. There we go. So the bearings, the whole purpose of a bearing is that, well, if we didn't have one, you can hear it, then the axle, even though it's a smooth material, rubs against the foam, which is quite a rough material actually. And to prevent that, slowing the vehicle down by friction, we use a bearing, and the bearings simply push into the centres of the wheel. So firm push with your thumb, make sure it's about the same amount sticking out either side, pop the wheel on, give it a spin, there it goes. So you don't hear, you do hear a noise, but you don't hear that scraping noise that we had before. So there's one, there it goes. Next one, bearing, push, twist, press with your thumbs, same amount sticking out either side, there it goes. Next wheel on, yeah. Axle. So you might call that a sub-assembly. So there it is, the sub-assembly for the front wheels. So now let's do the rear wheels. So these are thicker. 2 bearings are going to fit in. So 2 bearings inside there. So the best way to do it, I tend to do it like this, look, to get them nice and lined up. Put 1 bearing on the axle first, then put the wheel on. Now this wheel, I can feel it, has got a piece of foam stuck inside it. There it is. Push it out. Now that's never going to spin very quickly, but it will when the bearing goes inside. Put the other bearing on the other side, and what we're going to do is, we're not going to move the wheel, we're going to move the bearings along the axle into the wheel. And if you twist them at the same time, there we go. So all the way in. Now you could be jamming a tiny little bit of foam inside, so that does feel like that. So let's take that off now, push the bearing through, turn it round, push it through the other way, and usually that clears off the material that's been stuck. That's better. There we are. So there's our wheel complete there. Next one, so bearing on, push the middle out of push the foam middle out, nice and clean. Bearing on the other side, twist and push the bearings. Doesn't spin very well. Push through a little bit, turn it round, push through a little bit, and that simply gets rid of any small fragments of foam that are jammed in between the two. There it goes. Next one, there's our 2 sets of wheels ready to go on to the next stage.